Violent attack on a teen caught on video. The victim, only 13 years old, he's now facing surgery. It happened Friday night at Mid-Rivers Mall at a carnival in the parking lot. Sean Logging spoke with the victim's mother, who says two teen suspects were taken into custody. Sean?
Russell, Angela Bruner says that she spent most of Saturday in the hospital with her 13-year-old son, getting him checked over after she says he was one of two teens that was hit and kicked Friday night by a group of older teens. And a warning, this story has video of the incident, which we've blurred and muted. A night meant to provide fun, ending in a chaotic scene.
It's the start of his summer, yeah.
Video was provided to First Alert 4 by a teen's parent whose kid captured what happened outside of the Mid-Rivers Mall in St. Peter's Friday night, showing the fight between two groups of teens. What you see is what Angela Bruner saw when she arrived.
I ran out of my car, ran up. Yeah, it was quite a scene. Lots of blood on the parking lot of my son.
Angela says she was waiting outside the carnival at the mall Friday to pick up her 13-year-old son, who was there with his friends. This was shortly after 9 p.m.
One of the kids in the party had a laser pointer. One of the kids from the group that assaulted them came over, wanted to see the laser pointer, took the laser pointer, took off running.
Angela says the other group of teens were older, 16 and 17. She says the chaos started after one of her son's friends went to follow the teen who took the laser pointer and was hit.
I'm not really sure exactly what happened, but trying to protect his friend that was on the ground, being kicked and hit as he is out cold, defenseless. They turned on my son and all beat him. They beat him severely.
Angela says someone came and broke the fight up, though she says her son now requires surgery for the bone under his eye.
Is shattered, multiple pieces. The nose is broken on both sides, the contusion on his head.
As a parent too, what's it like having to go through something like this?
It's scary. It's very, I mean, seeing my son in that video, horrible. I don't wish that on anybody. Anybody's kid, no kid should face that.
Angela says she has spoken to St. Peter's Police, which is investigating.
I want justice for my son. No kid should deal with what my son dealt with.
And St. Peter's Police tells First Alert 4 of the two teens taken into custody. Their case is referred to family court for charges. Angela says her son's surgery will happen in a couple of days, and the other teen who was injured is doing okay. She tells me that she and her family actually went to this carnival last week, and they saw some police officers, but hopes going forward there'll be additional security measures. I've also reached out to the mall, and I'm waiting to hear back. In the newsroom, Sean Logging, First Alert 4.
Sean, thank you.